Guys, don't be like overcommitting until you get that ring.
What is
Until you say I
overcommitting?
do. So even as you're walking down the aisle, and then there's like some other dude who says, I still want you. You have the right to consider it. What's up, you guys? It's your girl Panache, and we are back with another episode. How are you guys? Long time no see or no hear. Well, we missed you and we're back. Terry, how are you doing? How was your holidays? Did you do anything fun?
Hey, what's good, everybody? It's good to be back. Yes, 2022. How was my holiday? My holiday was one of the most normal holidays ever. The Christmas, I was actually at work. At New Year's, I was at work. There's nothing really fun, just work. How was your holiday?
It was great. We were freezing cold, in minus 25 weather, like frozen chickens, but what can we do? It was good. Can't complain. Had lots of food, but I know that my God is a God of burning calories, so I'm not even worried. You know how people be having like New Year resolutions, like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. I know I don't even need to do that because calories shall be burnt, without doing anything. But yeah, had good food. It was good. It was a good time. But I'm curious. It's a holiday time, and I know you're not married, so I guess this leads us to our topic for today. As long as you're not married, are you single? So, are you single until you're married? Even if you're dating someone and you've been dating them for 10 years, are you single until you're married?
Ooh, that was for me? I think this topic is quite broad and at the same time quite deep. It might hit a nerve, and it's something that pretty much maybe most people, including me, haven't really thought about before. And then now it's a thing that I have to think about. Okay, are you actually single till you get married, or you can be married and then get married? So it's a type of topic that really interests me. At the same time, it's a topic that I want to hear what people think about it, and their perspective on that. What's your take on this? Are you married until married, or are you single until married?
I'm going to be the devil's advocate, as they say, and actually agree, guys. You're single until you're married. Not in the wilding and being in the streets kind of single, but you just have more room to get out of a relationship until you're married. A divorce takes about 6 months, like minimum, and maximum like 2 to 5 years if it's actually not agreed upon by both people. So if you're in a dating relationship or a serious relationship or a long-term relationship, that's not a marriage. You could literally wake up today and be like, okay, yo, I'm out. But you can't do that with a marriage. And when you go fill out your government forms or your work forms or your tax forms, and they make you tick a little box, is there a box for engaged? No. Is there a box for dating? No. The only box that's there is what? Single. So you're single. That's just what it is. It doesn't mean you have to be in the streets, dating someone's son or someone's daughter and like dating multiple people, but it just still means that you're single. That's my opinion.
Oh, okay. I think now this brings a question again on what is singleness. Does it mean that I don't have anybody in my life? In the definition or in the context of what you said, does it mean that I'm alone, or it just means that let's say officially or according to the law or according to the culture, I'm still single because we haven't waited? Let me say anybody hasn't waited, so they're still single. Or let's say you can be in a relationship but still regarded as not single and not married. I'm gonna read something before you answer that question. Something really interesting on Google, which says legally you are considered single even if you are in a committed relationship. Gosh, when you go to fill
So
up
you're supporting my point.
now, apparently this is Google. I haven't got there. I haven't supported nothing. When you go fill up some papers at your bank, taxes, etc., it is asked for marital status. Just because you have a boyfriend or girlfriend or even a fiance, you still have to check single until you are wed. So imagine, according to the law, that's how it is. But really, in reality,
Thank you.
is that even something that we can talk about in real, like say in real life? Because we're talking about people who have moved in to stay together. Should we say they're single, or we're saying I don't know they're together or what? Yeah, of course we cannot say they're married because marriage I think it has to be like a vows and the whole promises and all and the signing of certificates of two people and witnesses. But then should we safely say you they are still single until married?
Yeah. Okay, so according to the famous Merriam-Webster dictionary, the definition of being single is not married. So, yeah, if you are not married, you're single. You don't need to tie yourself down and act like you're taken when someone can wake up one day and just be out, okay? Can just bounce. And then you are there acting like you're married, buying someone a house, not even putting your name in it just because you're like, oh, we're married. No, oh, we're dating or in a relationship. So, who do you think created this whole are you single until you're married thing? Because I've been hearing people on the intranets saying that men are the ones who did it so that they can be in the streets dating so many women and going like, oh, but I'm single because I haven't married you. So, was it men or was it women? And who benefits the most from it?
I think this I really am out of words. But what I think is when people are talking about being married, it doesn't necessarily mean that when they're committed in a relationship, when they're committed to someone else, it takes them out to the world and be like a free bird. Once you commit, I feel like you've literally moved from the phase of being single and being out there in the market into committing to somebody else. Then you move into the other stages and other stages that lead into marriage. But I feel like it doesn't really mean that you are alone, because now look, you have somebody else whom you have in your life, and you guys pretty much spend every time together, or you're staying together, or you have actually kids together. So it doesn't really mean that now one of the two could just go out in a restaurant or wherever in a bar and then just meet up with somebody else and be like, yeah, I'm single. You can't really now go out in that position and say you're single yet you're not single, because you have someone else. There's is someone else in your life, but you are not married. So marriage is
Okay, wait. So, are you saying that if you're single, it means that you're pretty much like open to dating anyone? Because there's single people who just don't want to date anyone. So, just because you're single doesn't mean that you're open for the streets, you know. And just because you're single doesn't mean that you can't be committed to someone. You can be committed to someone and still, have your status as a single person, like, hey, um, okay, dating and being engaged is like a trial, a trial relationship for the real thing, right? So if you see something that you don't like, or if something doesn't agree with you, or if there's like a disagreement where you can't reconcile things, then you can technically leave with no consequences, right? So, to me, not having that baggage is the freedom of singleness. It doesn't mean that you have to be in the streets, going to the bar, drinking with people, or, sleeping with different people, but just that freedom away from baggage, that freedom to be able to make up your mind about what you don't like and what you like. Because once you're married, if you realize that, oh, I don't like how this person handles money, you can't just wake up that same day and walk out. There's now an attachment to it. It's like a weight to it. So the freedom of singleness, it's freedom. The freedom to choose to stay or not stay, depending on what you're seeing.
I think that the way you expressed it is easily said than done. You can easily say, oh, I'm a walkout, but in some situations we are really talking about people who are deeply in love, who are together, we're literally planning their lives together, traveling together, doing everything together. But we cannot say that they can just walk out because there's a benefit of being single. More or less the same thing. People can be married and still be able to walk out. I'm not advocating for divorce,
Well,
but I'm
that's what
saying,
I just said. Like when you're married, it becomes a whole process. You can't just like wake up and click your fingers and be divorced. Like even the law makes it just take forever for you to be divorced, like at
yeah,
least
I
six
understand
months,
that part.
right? Like this is how people end up in toxic marriages when they consider themselves married before they're married, where you're like, oh, I'm with this person, we've been together for 2 years or 10 years, so I can't just walk out. I invested too much time in this. But no, that's the whole point of dating, so that if you see something you don't like that you know is going to be toxic in the next few years or toxic in general, then you walk out. You don't like let it fester, you don't stay. I think this whole statement of are you single until you're married, it sort of protects women because women are so, they're so good at committing. Like once a
Stop,
woman is in love,
stop,
she's like
stop.
all in, she's like cooking dinner for you, she's doing your
No.
laundry, she's excited to meet your mom, she's excited to be part of the family. When they say you're doing wifey duties before you're married, have you ever heard that being said to guys? Like, how much is it said to guys versus women? So women easily do wifey duties. So this statement should make women not do wifey duties
I
before
get
they're
you. I get your
married.
point of view, though. I'm gonna go. I don't agree in that to that because we can't really say women can actually like really commit more than men. There are actually men who actually commit too. If there's a woman like me, there's also a guy like me. So if there's a woman who can commit, there's also a guy who can commit. It goes double ways. And secondly, by doing women or wife duties, look at people who are staying together but not married. I'm pretty sure the guy is actually doing the whole provision for both of them, and they're still doing it. So pretty much he's already doing the husband duties as well. He's being the provider.
With the husband's duty, which is provision.
Yeah, of course, yes. And then you mentioned something about I'm going to read the definition of marriage, by the way. Marriage is the legally or formally recognized union of two people as partners in a personal relationship. Historically, and in some jurisdictions, specifically a union between a man and a woman. So that is what is marriage, right? So it's only the recognition through law, but people have been staying together. You mentioned something about how hard
But
it
you
is.
said
Okay,
that
wait,
a
wait,
husband's duty is
wait,
provision.
wait. You mentioned that a woman. You mentioned that it is easy to walk out in a relationship than divorcing. I don't believe in those words. Why? Because it can be easy because people doesn't really have or haven't really invested time into their relationship. There are people we've literally invested their all into a relationship. Why? Because they already saw their future together. That's why you see that even some people, even if they separate now in a dating situation, within 2 to 3 months or 2 to 3 days, they're back again trying to reconcile. It's not as easy as just like, okay, I'm done with you, and then you go left and then you go right. In as much as people are married, even if they're done, no matter how long the process might take, they can still go and divorce. How many people? We're looking at the highest rate
It's
ever.
the same
we are looking
thing.
we are looking
Like
at the
one is not
highest rate ever of divorce in the whole of human existence. Maybe because now we have statistics and people are just going through checking how it's happening, but yes, it's happening. We're looking at the shortest period of time of having a wedding and people are going to divorce right after the wedding. Things are happening. You think that they did not commit into their marriage or their dating life? They did. But then did they see something that they don't want? Yes, they then saw it and then they decide to separate ways. So there's no justification into working out either in a relationship or in a marriage. When you feel like it's toxic, when you feel like it's killing you, then walk out. So there's no difference for me between working out in a dating situation, because I'm telling you, people are staying together. They're dating, but they're staying together. We cannot define it as marriage. So the only way we can define it is probably, I don't know, dating or being together, or they are in a relationship. Yes, that is what is there. But the same thing is marriage. People are staying together, and we need to be honest. This is real. People are staying together.
Wait,
People have kids
wait,
together, but they're not married.
wait. There is no difference to you between working out in a marriage and working out in a general relationship?
I did not say general. I meant a relationship that you have invested into.
Yeah, like a relationship,
Yes,
where there's
that's
like
when I'm
no
talking about
wedding, no
where
documents
there's no
signed.
documents. You guys have been buying cars together. You bought a house together, babies together. What's the difference with somebody who got married today and they decided to divorce?
The fact that the law makes it like 6 months just to for you to get divorced, all those papers you have to sign, the lawyers that you have to get involved, you know, it's just a whole complicated process. Maybe
I think
emotionally
it's
there's no difference, yeah.
I think, yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I think you're taking it on the low side. But basically, emotionally, I feel like hurting doesn't matter whether there's a paper or there's no paper signed, or there's a certificate or there's no certificate. Hurting someone doesn't make it any easier. So it's going to be hard to walk away. People can stay in two different houses for 6 months just to get over with it. But then at the same time, emotionally, people are really destroyed. You see, so for me, yeah, you can be single like you said, but it doesn't really mean that when you're in a relationship or when you're with someone you can just put yourself on the market anyhow. It pretty much means that there's no really use then for you to date, because if you're dating someone or if you're with someone, then you decide to go out there and just put yourself out there for anyone and everyone to be with you, then there's no point of dating. How are you gonna know if the person you're with is the right person when you haven't given them a chance? Because every time you go out, you feel like, I need someone. Oh yeah, you were with someone. The next day you're with someone. Then how are you gonna figure out who to marry?
Well, being single doesn't mean you have to be in the
I'm not
streets.
saying in the streets. You said something about being single doesn't really mean that you're in the streets, but it gives you the ability to be in the street. It gives you the ability to just go out there and be like, yeah. If any guy approaches you, okay, question to you. If any guy approaches you today, let's say you're dating someone, right? And a guy approaches you today and they say, are you single? What is your response?
I'm single until I'm married.
Are you sure you respond like that?
They say that if you like it, you gotta put a ring on it. So until you put a ring on it, then yeah, I'm still single. No, I will not be like, yo, I'm single. I'm finna like date you. No, I'll be like, sorry, I'm seeing someone. You know, seeing someone
What is seeing
to say
someone?
that, oh, I'm not married, but there is someone in my life.
That's seeing
So
someone.
I'm
What
not
is that?
totally,
What is that
because
called?
at the end of the
What is
day,
that called? The seeing
something,
process.
anything can happen,
Why?
right? And you
Why
can
are
leave
you
each other.
always running
Even
to?
if you're engaged,
Why are you always running to
something
something
can happen.
Why can't you be like, oh, something cannot happen and they can end up being together? Why do we have the negative we don't? And still, you need to answer my question. What do you mean by seeing someone? What's the
It
definition?
means I'm with
What
someone.
is being with
I'm
someone?
seeing
You are
someone.
in a
You
relationship with
know,
someone, right?
yeah.
Exactly my
We're not
point.
married,
I didn't. No, no, don't go
but
till we are not married.
we're seeing
You
each
didn't say you're
other.
married. You are with someone, right? So respectfully, you are seeing someone and you're respecting the fact that you are in a relationship with someone. So is the other person. Does that make you single?
It makes you not married. I'm still ticking that box that says single.
See? No, I accepted already that in the bank or with the taxes you're gonna sign, you're gonna take the single. At work you're gonna take the singleness. But do you agree that when you're answering that question to somebody else, you are not single?
No, I'm with
Do you
someone.
agree?
Yes, I'm with someone in a relationship.
So you're not, so when you're with someone you're not single, right?
No, I'm with someone.
No, you are not single, right? There's no both
I'm
answers,
not
by the way.
married, you know.
Are you single?
It depends in which context.
See,
In
you
which
can't even answer the
context?
question. The question is, are you said you are seeing someone, you're in a relationship
Yes.
with someone, right? So
Wait,
are you
if
single?
something was to happen to that
No, no, no,
someone,
no, no, no.
for
Don't run
example, it's like
away.
if they were to go to the hospital today, I wouldn't even be allowed in the room. I'm like, oh, I'm his girlfriend. They'll be like, please sit down, ma'am. Only family allowed. Only family allowed. So you're not even considered to be part of that person until you're married to
You
them.
see, the problem we are having here is you're going deep on us.
It
This
is
is just
deep.
the question I asked you. Are you single? You did not. I'm gonna read now the definition according to Google for what is single. Single is only one as an adjective. not one of
It depends
several.
which
So if you're
definition.
saying you're
This is the problem with
wait,
definitions. There be too many.
gosh.
Because I just read
Wait,
one.
I'm gonna read the other one. Unmarried or not involved in a stable sexual relationship, and that's another one. A single mother. A single mother, we're first saying this is a single mother, which means it's a mother who is raising her kids by herself, which means she doesn't have a
But it
husband.
doesn't
right?
always mean
But
that
then
the
you
dude
could
is
not
not in the
answer.
picture.
You
The
could
dude could be in the
exactly.
picture,
You could not answer.
but she's still single.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Yeah,
No, no,
the
no.
dude could
You
be
could not
there.
answer. You could not answer the fact that you said you are in a relationship and you are not single. That is where I want to correct you. If you are in a relationship, you are not single
Says who?
and you are not married. This
Being
is what you
single
said to
means
me. I
not
asked you a
married,
question.
so I can
You
be
are
in
in
the
a
relationship and still be single because
no.
I'm not married.
I don't agree to this one. I don't agree to this
It's
one.
because
and I'm
in
sorry,
your
I will
mind,
not
the
agree to
definition of
this one.
single is wilding and being in the streets and being uncommitted. You can still be single and
No,
committed.
I did not say that.
You know, committed to your
No, you
relationship.
can't be single and committed. No, you can see. You are coming back to the relationship. One unit means single. If you are two, then you're not single.
Unmarried.
We need to
Definition
understand
of
that.
single. Unmarried.
Exactly. You are not married and you are not single.
So what am I?
Let's understand that.
So
if
what
you
am
are
I?
in a relationship with someone, you are not single, you are not married. You are in a relationship with someone else, not single. You cannot go and say I am single. Once, because I asked the question, you said I can't say to a guy who approached me I'm single. That answers it all. You are seeing someone or you are with someone, or people would say I have a boyfriend. People would say that.
I have seen people get engaged and the family doesn't even want to like celebrate it because they'll be like, anything can happen, you know? So they don't even consider that person
According
taken,
to them,
you know?
yes, but
they'll be like, oh, they're
according
still
to them,
single.
yes, it can be like that. But to the people who engaged, does it still mean this? Does it still have the same meaning as she's still out there in the market, or the dude is literally believing that they've moved on and life is going forward? And
As long as you haven't said I do, even as you're walking down that wedding aisle, you're still single.
I'm sorry, but I know we're running out of time
You're
on this.
still
but
single,
you are not.
guys.
You are
No,
not
guys,
single.
you need to tell us what you think
because
because
we are
we
not
need
gonna
more
agree on
opinions on this, you know.
Exactly.
We need more opinions
Yes.
because guys, you know, don't be like over committing until you get that ring.
What is
you know, until you say I
overcommitting?
do. So even as you're walking down the aisle, and then there's like some other dude who says, I still want you, you have the right to consider it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, maybe
Like
not
you
because
said,
you've paid a lot of money.
Like you were saying, no, more people can do that. People could do that. It's allowed to do as you, because to be honest, we live once and you need to make the best out of it. You can then decide who you want to be with, even on the last minute, even if you have paid a lot of money. But if you feel like whatever decision you are making now is going to bring joy in the future, then go for it, right? Number one. Number two,
Because you can.
because you can,
still
because
single.
you're not single, you're with someone because you're not married. And number two, it's not like it's gonna be as easy as just saying, oh yeah, stop or bye, and then you go to next person. You also need some time to heal, to recover and whatnot. It's gonna be a process. In the same manner that people feel like it's gonna be like stop, go. It's not like a stop sign in the road and then you start going, oh, it's a red traffic light and then you need to go when it's green. No, some relationships are really deep enough and deep that would probably kill someone when they go through the breakup. I'm really sorry. I know our time is not on our side. Like we ask people, to everybody out there, what do you think about being single until you get married? Are you single? If you are dating someone or you're in a relationship, should you answer and say I'm single when somebody else asks you if you're single? That is
I'm
up
with
to
someone.
yours.
I'm seeing someone.
Yeah, you said you're seeing someone, but that's not single. You answered that again. So everybody out there who just wants to help us out here on this, we did not agree on. God. We did not agree on this one. We need your opinions. What do you think? Are you single? Are you single to get married, or you can be between single and marriage? This is on you guys. And as we Brew You Pour team, we know time ran out really quick. We didn't even see where the time went. We really wanted to stay with you longer, but you know what? please remember to subscribe to our YouTube and Instagram channels. We Brew, You Pour. We are out.
See you later, guys. Bye. Let us know if you're single until you're married. And like, comment, subscribe, all the good things. Thank you for your support.
Yes.
Bye.